Hey guys, Jonathan here, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the brand new LEGO Star Wars set, Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Scout Speeder. Now, as of this video, I don't actually have the details on it, because LEGO did send me this early to review, but they didn't mention anything about the price, so that's kind of crazy, but regardless, it's still a really cool looking set, and I'm really excited to tell you all about it. With just under 400 pieces and 7 minifigs, including this special QTKY droid, which we'll take a look at here in just a moment, it's hard to imagine this being anywhere more than $45 or less than $35, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I'll probably put it in the video right here if the prices come out by the time I can post this, which I'm sure it has. That being said, this is a really interesting set because it's a remake of not one, but two sets from back in 2008. The Rebel Scout Speeder and the Imperial Dropship, both of which are updated for this 2024 set. Now, I love both of those sets I just showed because I had them when I was a kid and had so many adventures and army building that it's hard for me to say that I like this set more. It's not to say that these aren't superior builds with better detail. It's just that my nostalgia runs so high for those old ones, and I always keep it real with you guys that I think I like the old ones better, but again, that's totally nostalgia bias. That being said, let's get into taking a closer look at today's set, and thanks again to LEGO for sending this my way. All right, we'll kick things off by taking a look at QTKY. Now, this is a droid that is very special because not only does it give us all the astromech parts in pink for the very first time, it's also a part of the 25 years of LEGO Star Wars celebration line that we've gotten this year, and this is a very special droid because of the history behind the character. You see, this droid was inspired by a little girl named Katie Johnson, who was the daughter of the founder of the 501st Legion, who, if you go to, like, Comic-Cons and stuff, you may see them dressed up as, like, Star Wars characters and at Star Wars premieres and all that. Well, unfortunately, his daughter Katie actually passed away from brain cancer, and so he created this pink astromech droid that the 501st would take around, and then Star Wars actually included this character in the Clone Wars as an homage to that droid and to Katie. So very, very cool that it exists at all, and even cooler that it exists in LEGO form now. It's a really nice build. Of course, it's just the regular astromech pieces, but I really like a lot of the detail that we get here, and it's such a special figure. I think people are going to love adding this one to the collection. All right, now it's time to talk minifigs for the set. The Rebel Fleet Trooper comes in a set of 3, so the bodies are identical, of course, other than the female one having a different skin tone here, but all 3 look really, really great. I love the level of detail that we were given, and also, all 3 have alternate faces that are kind of like more aggravated or scared fighting faces, but they look really great, and I really like that we get so much variation between all of them. I think that this set is going to be great for army building if you buy multiples of it, so I really like that they didn't just give us the same trooper over and over again, which, ironically, despite my bias for the 2008 version of this set, that's exactly what they did there. So it is cool that we get something a little different here. And then we get 3 stormtroopers, all identical from the outside, but of course, if we lift up the helmets, we'll see that there are different heads underneath each stormtrooper. I believe that all of these heads have appeared in sets previously, but it is nice to get some variation, like I was saying with the Rebel troopers before, although once the helmets go on, it's pretty indiscernible. That being said, I don't think that these are exclusive to this set at all, just your standard stormtroopers that have come in lots of sets previously to date. Now, the Imperial Dropship can actually carry all 3 troopers. So what we want to do is open up this cockpit here, and you can see we've got a little computer there, and we want to put those studs near there in the feet, and then we need this figure to lean all the way back so you can close it. It is a pretty tight squeeze, but it is engineered well. And I'll actually take the cockpit out for just a second so that you can see how it hinges in there on that ball joint and the receiver. So when you click that, it's built in a way that this kind of droops down at an angle, which is pretty unique. So then we move to the side here where we have a standard stud shooter with green studs. Some really interesting techniques going on here with the different slopings and things like that. But I don't know, there's just something about it that looks kind of unfinished to me. Not to say that the original was much better, but I'm just not really knocked out with this. Like, the bottom just kind of feels flat, and I get that it needs to be that way, don't get me wrong. I'm just not super crazy about it. That being said, there are clips on both sides where you can clip one of the spare guns into. Then, of course, we want to take the troopers and sit them right here so that they can fly into battle. So then Once they're here, we could go ahead and lift this, and this entire thing just clips out like that. You can see that there's a receiver in there and the clip here. And then these track grooves just go in a little something like that. And this part does move. It doesn't really have any functionality other than just looking cool. But yeah, we could drop the troopers off, go back to pick up more, so on and so forth. It is a pretty interesting build, but I don't know. I'm just not knocked out with it. Now, the Rebel Trooper transport, on the other hand, I do like that, so we'll take a look at that next. All right, the Rebel Scout Speeder is up next, and this uses a lot of really interesting techniques to go ahead and give it all of that sloping and angling. I especially like the view from the back. I think that that's incredibly cool. And the main play feature, of course, is this turret gun up top, which you can move on this piece here for aiming. And then, of course, you can also remove the piece entirely and kind of set it up as its own thing. That guy lost his helmet. It is what it is. But you can see that these studs right here are where this clicks into to put it into place for mobile transport. Then, of course, once we get to the ground base, we could go ahead and just set this up as its own turret while this continues on into battle. The turret itself can spin 360, as you can see. We have this little ladder here to show how they would get from the bottom to the top. And then, of course, we have these red stud shooters built into the side, which is cool. And then there are seating area designations inside here for both of the troopers. And we have a little computer there for nav. And we do have some stickers, like stickers on these side slopes here, as well as that Rebel insignia up front. But beyond that, it is pretty simple, and that's exactly what I like about it. I like that there aren't a ton of studs showing on it either. That's kind of interesting and cool. And then, of course, we've got these little jet streams in the back, and when we flip it on the bottom, I like that it has these curved pieces so that it really can kind of glide however you play with it. So I do really like it. When I put the two side by side, I like the Rebel transport quite a bit more than the Imperial transport, although both are really good. I do think that this would have been more fun as individual battle packs so we could army build them, just like we did all those years ago in 2008. But that being said, if we did that, I think that both would need to come with one more minifigure. Maybe that would have made both sets more expensive than just buying them this way. It's tough to say how it would shake out, but I do think it is pretty fascinating that they just combined them for this case. And yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and round out the video now. All right, guys, let me know what you think of this set down in the comments below. I do think it's a pretty good set, great for army building, and of course, there's a lot of great pieces used here too. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.